Hey, guys, I'm here. Do you ever feel like giving up? Life can be hard sometimes, right? You try your best to do everything perfectly, but things don't turn out the way you want. It can be easy to lose faith or just get plain tired of trying. But the Bible reminds us that no matter how difficult things may seem, if we keep our eyes on God, He'll help us through any challenge. In this video, we're going to talk about how to trust God even when things seem impossible. Let's dive in. Key verse, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. When we think about trusting God, we might picture people who are really good at it, like our friend Abraham. In Genesis chapter 15, God spoke to Abraham, who later became Abraham, and told him he would have a son. Now, Abraham and his wife Sarai, later renamed Abraham and Sarah, were very old, much older than anyone else in the world at that time. They had waited a long time for this promise to come true. In fact, Sarah was past the age when women usually had babies. So she laughed when God told her they would have a son. She thought, how can I have a baby at my old age? My husband is very old too. But despite what it looked like, God's promise didn't change. And Abraham believed what God had said. This showed that he trusted God more than his own eyes and the things he could see. The Bible tells us that Abraham's faith was strong because he knew God was faithful. He didn't doubt God's power to make things happen. Instead, he trusted that God could do amazing things even when it seemed impossible. The Bible calls people like Abraham men of faith. These are individuals who put their trust in God and believe in His promises, even when things seem really tough. But it's not just people from the Bible who can be men and women of faith. We can be men and women of faith too. We just need to believe in Jesus and follow Him. When we face problems that seem impossible, we can remind ourselves that God has helped people before and He'll help us too. Just like Abraham, we need to choose to trust God rather than what we see around us. Another example of putting faith into action is found in Matthew chapter 14 verses 22 to 33. After feeding the 5,000 people with 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread, Jesus told His disciples, "It's time to go across to the other side of the lake." They got into a boat and started rowing. But during the night, a strong wind started blowing and the waves hit the boat so hard that it began to fill with water. Jesus was sleeping in the boat with His disciples. The strong winds and waves woke Him up. He calmed the wind and the sea, and then asked His disciples, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith in me?" Peter answered, "Lord, I believe, help me." Then Jesus reached out His hand and grabbed Peter's. "You have little faith," Jesus told him. "Why did you doubt?" And just like that, Jesus and His disciples got to the other side of the lake. This story shows us 2 important lessons. First, sometimes when we put our trust in God, we still get scared and worried, like Peter. However, if we focus on our fear and worry instead of our faith in God, we might start to doubt. Remember what Peter said, "Lord, I believe, help me." He didn't say, "I'm afraid, help me." Peter was honest about his feelings. He admitted he was scared, but he also reminded himself that he believed in Jesus. He knew Jesus was strong enough to save him. Even though the wind and the waves were really scary, Peter chose to hold on to his faith in Jesus rather than his fear. In the end, Peter learned an important lesson about trusting Jesus. Jesus calmed the storm and walked on the water to show that He had power over nature. He also wanted to teach His disciples, including Peter, to trust in Him no matter how scary things might seem. So remember, if you ever feel like giving up, don't forget that God wants you to trust Him, not just say that you do. This means that no matter how difficult things may seem, if we fix our eyes on God and ask for help, He will be there for us. Now let's apply this to our lives. When you're facing challenges that seem impossible, ask yourself these 3 questions. Question no. 1. What is making you afraid? Fear often comes from focusing on the wrong things. If you find yourself getting scared, take a moment to figure out where your fear is coming from. Is it because you're worried about what other people think, or because you're unsure if you can do something? Once you identify your fear, remind yourself that God wants you to trust Him. Question number 2. Are you focusing on what you see or what God said? When things seem scary, it can be easy to focus on the problems around you. But if you fix your eyes on God and what He has said, you will feel less afraid. The Bible tells us to remember God's promises and to think about the good things He has done in the past. When we do this, our faith grows stronger and our fear goes away. Question no. 3. Are you putting your trust in God or in yourself? Sometimes when we're scared, we might try to solve our problems on our own without asking God for help. Remember, God wants you to rely on Him, not yourself. So, when you're facing a challenge, take some time to pray and ask God for advice. Talk to Him about your worries and ask for help. Trusting God doesn't mean that you won't have any problems. It simply means that you have faith in God's plan for you and that you believe He will help you handle whatever comes your way. When we trust God, we become more like Him. We show kindness and love to others, forgive those who have hurt us, and try our best to help people in need. By putting our trust in God, we can overcome anything life throws our way. To sum up, remember that God wants us to trust Him. No matter how difficult things may seem, if we keep our eyes on God, He'll help us through any challenge. Let's look at some ways to remember this. Point number 1. Don't let fear control you. When things are hard, it's normal to feel scared, but don't let your fear control you. Point number 2. Remember God's promises. Think about the times when God has helped you in the past. This will help you trust Him more. Point number 3. Pray for help. Ask God for guidance and strength when you're feeling scared or unsure of what to do. Point 4. Read the Bible. The Bible can give you comfort and help you remember that God is with you. Point 5. Talk to someone you trust. If you're struggling to trust God, reach out to a friend, family member, or pastor for support and guidance. Remember, you are not alone. God is with you always. He wants you to trust Him, and He'll help you through any challenge you face. Keep these points in mind the next time you feel like giving up. And remember, God wants you to trust Him, not just say that you do. Thank you for watching this video. We hope it has been a blessing to you. Please share your thoughts and comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video if you haven't already. May God bless you, and until next time, remember to keep the faith.